Hello, hello. Um, Hold on. Is everything looking good? I think so. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Um, I'm here to play the woke game. The game of DEI. The game of South of Midnight, which looks really cool. It looks like it has a really nice art style, and I'm very excited to play it. I bought it. This game, it released, like officially released, I think, what, the 9th or the 8th? Whatever. But I saw people playing it, and so I was like, okay, let me see. I went on Steam and I saw that you could buy it. So I was like, oh my god, um maybe I had the dates wrong or something. But so I bought it, and then it was like after you bought it, it was like, oh, this game only actually opens up until on the 8th. So I bought it like the 6th, and I was like, I've never seen a Steam game that wasn't like a pre-order, but that I could just straight up buy, but had to wait 2 days to play. Which is kind of strange, but you know, I guess that's what happens sometimes. So let me hop in it, I guess. I'm ready to play. I had to turn the volume off because, oh, of course this thing now is not working. Oh, I didn't fix that first. Okay, that's good. Unmute this and then pause this music and then turn this up again. Now, we have classic game is very loud. So let me put this like 25. Turn the ambience down a little maybe. Sound effects down a little. The music is always the loudest part, right? Okay. I'll turn it back up for you guys a little because I have it already lowered. Okay. So now should be good. And I want to use my controller. Yeah, look how pretty it looks. Oh. Well, you would be able to if it was actually capturing it. What the issue was. Okay, now capture. Here we go. Okay. New game. Weaver, balance, healer, easy. Scryer is the story. Grand Weaver is harder. And then we can customize it. Interesting. So I think this is like a God of War type game, like one of those. And I've never really played those types of games. Sorry, I'm using my stuff on this end. I've never actually played those type of games, so I don't know what is the best for me. You know? Like, what is, the best one I should do? I put the... Oh, okay, cool. Alright, let's just start out balance, because I don't know. I don't know how good I am at these games. I don't think very.
Down in the deep south, folks spin tales about the Grand Tapestry, an invisible weave holding our world
Tapestry.
together. They say the Grand Tapestry is torn by folks' sorrows, and these damaged threads give rise to them evil spirits called Haints. But every great while, a mighty storm brews, awakening a powerful force. A weaver, gifted with the power to reach into the past and mend folks' deep wounds. With enchanted hooks in hand, this weaver can banish Haints and reweave the tapestry's thread. restoring the land so life can bloom again, fresh and new.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The last weaver vanished long ago, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
I assume I'm a weaver. I get to be the
Our
last
tale
weaver,
begins deep in the heart
the
of Chickasaw
avatar,
County, in a
Aang of
speck of a
this
town
world.
called Prospero, where the last weaver was last seen.
Prospero.
That evening, Hazel's mama was running late, driving home through a storm that seemed hell-bent on drowning the whole South. Meanwhile, our Hazel is packing an emergency box, fixing to evacuate quickly. A hurricane brewing on the horizon, and a mighty big one at that.
Man,
Ah,
I
she's so
miss singing on the
pretty.
bus with these guys. Wish we had another meet.
Oh, I love the art style.
Another medal, too. We was fast as hell. Mine should be back by now. Probably got sucked into work again. Typical. I shouldn't be doing all this packing by myself. But here I am.
Okay. Correct. Uh-huh. Mr. Buttons. Okay.
All right. What's coming with me?
Ah, it is really pretty. I like it. I like the art style a lot. Oh. Let's see. What's there to look at? Okay, what are the buttons? Oh. Ooh. Hazel. Hazel has lived in Prospero all her life with her mother, Lacey. She just graduated high school and sent off to college in the fall. Okay. Prospero, once the site of bustling industry, Prospero is a dying, hurricane-besieged southern town with a history of strange disappearances. Those who left of their own will did so in search of greener pastures. Many who remained lacked the means to seek better. Lacey and Hazel's home in Prospero. Interesting. Okay. What did I say? The other buttons? Oh. Okay, that one's that. And then this one is storybooks. Okay. Bangs. Is that supposed to be Megan? Megan Thee Stallion? I think so. Nothing to like interact with in here. Yeah? Okay. Let's see, let's see.
And there goes the flash flood warnings. Like clockwork.
Oh, there we go. What's this little bear? Aw.
I asked Mama for a doll and got this thing instead. I know he's weird looking, but I
Oh,
can't
shit.
help but love him.
He's cute. I like him. I like the little guy.
Storm's never been this bad before. Things got tense with Mama last time I visited you at the mausoleum, Dad.
Oh, so she's mixed, huh?
She'll never explain why she and Grandma Bunny got bad blood.
Right, she's mixed. It look black to me. Yo, we got on the shelf some pork and beans, yummy. Hurricane checklist, flashlights, batteries, blankets, my sugar-free granola bars, first aid kit, water bottles, extra cash, towels, soap, garbage bags, phone, and car charger. We got everything. We'll have to see. Oh god.
That was the day Mama threw up on
Mama
me
is
after getting off
cute.
that wacky world. Almost passed out from laughing so hard.
Mama is pretty. It's a pretty mama.
Wish she still had that kind of time for me.
Pack your box when ready.
stop
Oh my god,
reminiscing.
look outside. Jesus. The water's already here. We're on the water.
It is
Mama.
really picking up out there. You ready to go?
I was over here all alone.
I'm sorry, I know. I swung by the shelter because there was a leak in the roof, and then I had to drive folks back and forth to Jolene's to ride out the storm. Besides, you are young and spry, my little track star. Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go. Did you pack everything?
Mama, I'm grown. This ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Flashlights and batteries. You had the blankets?
Yes, because I have my...
Hurricane checklist. Is that a smiley face?
Hey, Hazel, think fast.
Oh, come on, Mama. We don't have room for my track shoes.
You know how expensive those things are. You better find somewhere to pack them.
I
know that's right.
I know. What'd you say?
I said, and pack 'em light.
Pack a bag, then pack it light. Hey, pack your bags, then pack 'em light.
I love them. But golly, we need to get a move on, you know. I mean, I don't live in Hurricane Town. Maybe it's normal for the water to already be under your house,
I
but
called
you know,
Hurricane Lulu and she said
I wouldn't want it like that.
Mama, I'm serious. What if it's different this time?
that's not for you to worry about. And now we got 4 minutes. Did you just suck your teeth at me?
I wouldn't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Waste time?
That's not what I meant. It's just
Mm.
you left me to prep for a hurricane by myself.
Oh, I thought you was grown.
What if we called up Bunny and go over there? You know, the mansion with the hurricane-proof windows?
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
We are going to Jolene's church with everybody else like we always do.
Whatever.
And don't roll your eyes at me.
I wasn't even looking at you.
I made those eyes.
Man, I can't
I know
understate
they
how
I
much
just
I
don't
love
understand why we can't go
these
over there.
designs.
Bunny still can, even if Daddy's dead. Just tell me
Hazel,
why.
please. Just please go over to Bo's and Mrs. Pearl's. Check on them. They may need help.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Ooh!
Damn it! No. Your great-grandmother made this.
You never told me that.
I shouldn't have to tell you something is important for you not to break it.
Well, maybe if you did, you still have a coffee mug.
This world
Ooh,
existed
she got a-
before I
she
brought
got
you
an
into it, Hazel
attitude.
Flood. Remember that.
Got a
next
bit of
time
an
you go around
attitude talking
thinking
to
you
a
know
mama like
everything.
that.
Hazel! Everything I do for you.
Whatever. There's no getting through to her. Whatever. Let me go check on Bo.
Okay. I mean, yeah, she had a lot of back chat. It was a lot of back talk to her mama. And I would never break my mama's mug because I was mad. Like, what? Girl. Oh my god. Oh, I can jump. Yeah, I'm not Hurricane Town ready because I would be so afraid if literally right under my house looked like this. No way. Oh wait. Oh, is there a motion blur thing? Yeah, maybe let's oh wait. Maybe let's try this one out. Yeah, that's better.
Man, the water's this high already?
I don't know who keeps their motion blur on. Really. Where am I going? What am I doing? Pack your box when ready. Check on, Bo? On Bo?
Bo and those damn dogs are always up to something.
Who's in here?
It's too late to board up our windows, too. The Joneses really are one step ahead.
That would be me. My house would be boarded and locked down, or I would be long gone. Okay, you got that music going. You don't seem bothered in the slightest. You jamming out in here.
Oh, Hazel!
He's a frat
Come
bro?
on in and grab some punch. It is fucked up out here.
I came here to check on you, but it looks like you riding this storm out in style.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Me and the pups are having a hurricane party. Yeah.
Oh, doggy.
Ain't no storm got me yet. And if things go south, I got my boat. You sure you don't want some punch?
I've gotta go check on Mrs. Pearl.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it ain't my dogs pooping on her grass. My dogs are gentlemen. Yes, you are.
You know, I get,
Better make sure
I
Miss
love his
Pearl's taken
style.
seriously.
Could never be me. Could never be me. The amount of anxiety I would have, being drunk in the middle of a hurricane, couldn't be me. A former collegiate football player with a professional aspirations before a career-ending injury, Bo is a big guy with a heart of gold. He checks in on Mrs. Pearl, and Lacey, and views Hazel like a little sister. Only thing he loves more than fishing is his dogs. Hazel's mother, Lacey, is a social worker in Prospero. She struggles with the trauma she sees on her job. She can't save everyone. She's frustrated with the system and the way it takes time away from Hazel, her little bug, whom she loves deeply. Trey, Hazel's father and Lacey's husband. Trey Flood fell in love with Lacey during college. He and Lacey were happily married and had Hazel. Trey died unexpectedly when Hazel was 4. He's buried in a mausoleum near the Flood mansion. Oh, that's sad. Now I'm going to check on Pearl. Check on Miss Pearl. How you doing, Miss Pearl?
Can't go this way.
Oh shit. Denise Noodle. Alright, okay. Eviction? Who's getting evicted?
Miss Sadie. Well, at least the Goodmans won't have to worry about repairs anymore.
Sadie got evicted. Well, she's not here for the storm, though. That's one good thing. I assume the door with the light is the... Yeah, I like this little house. Miss Pearl got her plants all out, and I know. She tells the people, don't you touch my plants. Uh-oh.
What you doing on my porch in all of this weather, baby?
I love
I'm
her.
just checking on you, see if you need anything. You holding up okay?
I'm doing just fine. Been doing this longer than you've been alive. Why don't you come in for a second?
I should probably head back.
Come in, have some gizzards. I'm cooking them all
Ooh.
before the power goes out.
I've never had a gizzard. I don't
You
think
know
I'd
I
like
can't
it.
say no to your cooking.
There's a bee in your bonnet. I can tell.
Just frustrated with Mama. She's
Hazel's
been
hair
leaving
is
the
so
shelter and
pretty.
left
I'm
me
so
all alone.
jealous. I wonder if there's a portion of the game where she's gonna like let her hair out. She's a tattoo on her neck. Oh.
Right? She's all over the place all the time.
She's got a good heart. Just wants everyone to be okay all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. You need some help in there?
Thanks, hon. I'm almost done. What else is on your mind?
What you know about Bunny?
Why you barking up that tree for?
It's hard not to. Mama never so much as talks about her.
Well, does she ever look in on you?
No, I guess not.
Sometimes people are privy to things that we aren't. Your mama is doing what she thinks is best. Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no! Oh my god, no! Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at my emails. No! She's floating away! No! My mother! Press... Yeah. Mother! No!
Hang on! I can't lose you too!
Come on. Come on, we got this.
Shit!
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Hold on! Mama!
Okay. Oh, she's in the window! No! No! Oh, shit.
Holy
What?
shit. What just happened? How did I get back to the shore?
Hazards such as toxic water and brambles can cause damage. Damage check is indicated on the life bar. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. Come on, let's get a move on. Where did the house go? Oh, there it is. Missing Michaela Dutrell, missing since July 20th. Have you seen this reward for info? Okay, we gotta find Michaela.
No. That doesn't sound good.
Does not sound good. Oh! Go!
Shit!
Run,
Took out
girl!
the bridge!
God dang. See, this is way too much. I could not. I couldn't deal with my house floating down the river
Mama, I'm coming!
and all this stuff. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh my god. No!
God damn it, I can't! I'm not fast enough. I'm always fast enough.
Oh yeah, you track star.
What is it? Bunny. She's gotta help me.
What can she do? Does she have a bow? Press A to hang and use L to move. Okay.
The bridge! Gotta get across.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait, what? Can I go? Oh, yeah. Jump up. Wait, what? Oh. Go that way. Go this way, girl. There we
Bunny's
go.
house is uphill. She's always fine during storms.
No, okay, oh, wait. Okay, go here, and then go there. Oh, no, okay. Go there. Go. Nope, okay.
Her place again? What's happening?
That angle is a little weird. Come on. Your mother is literally floating down the river, okay? You gotta work quickly. Gotta go fast. Okay, and I just jump back. Okay, from here. Oh, jump down. No! How do I just, like, slightly let go? I was trying to see, okay, maybe I can jump down to jump over that way. Okay, if I go here and then, like, there. What? Okay, hold on. That's where I'm supposed to go, right? Am I missing something? Supposed to go this way. Did it say something about, like, no? Like, dropping down? Maybe, hold on, let's try here. So let go. Oh, okay. I get it now. I press circle, I let go. And I can go down lower. To the lower level. Like so. And then from here... Oh. Is this not? Can I not? Okay, yep. There we go. What is that? Oh no. Oh no.
What was that?
That's what.
I must be seeing things.
Yeah. Must be seeing things. Must be the wind. Let's keep it going. Let's just worry about Mama floating down the river and not shadow things we see. See, now it tells me to press B to drop. Okay, why did it tell me to do that here? Oh. Because I can go this way. I'm smart. I'm smart, guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, shit!
What did I hit? Yeah.
Help! Please! My mama! We need help!
Okay, where's
Anybody
Bunny?
hear me? Please!
Who can hear you?
Anybody!
You see all this wind? Yeesh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh.
Oh, I was almost broke!
Yeah, almost died. Aye, oh, oh. Aye. This way. Oh,
Please hold!
oh, raccoon. Save yourself. Oh, God. Bunny here? This looks like the cemetery. Oot.
Hey, Dad. Headed to your old place.
Oh,
Got no
stop by
other
to see
options.
Father.
I'm so scared for Mama. Dad, if you're up there, keep her safe.
Father. You keep her safe. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Gotta go around.
Go around. Oh, oh. I mean, look. I mean, crazy, but she don't look, she look like she could be blown away in this wind. It's blowing cars. How is she be able to run in this?
That can't be real. Hope they'll help me.
That can't be real. I must be tripping. I'm tripping. Your house is too big to float in the river. Please help.
I know y'all in there. Excuse me. You can't just show up unannounced.
I have to talk to Bunny.
Well, she is rested. You're gonna have to come back tomorrow. It can't wait.
Lady, if you don't get out the way, my mama is floating down the river as we speak. Oh, y'all rich. Y'all rich? How do we not get any inheritance?
What is all this racket?
Hey, Grandma?
Is that Hazel?
Grandma looks nice. I mean, she looks good.
You've
Not
gotten
nice.
taller.
I like
What
that
brought you
suit.
sopping wet to my doorstep this evening?
I told her you were rested, but she just...
Nonsense, Lily. That's my only grandchild down there.
Exactly. We
What can we
family.
do for you?
The trailer got swept downstream with Mama in it, and
Swept down in the river in that tin can of a home?
I tried to catch her, but I couldn't keep up. There's no one in town. I saw the lights on here, and I came for help.
And we will. In the morning.
In the morning.
You know people. Can you call the sheriff or something?
You know rescue services are paused in the middle of a hurricane, dear.
You're acting like you don't even care.
Mind your tone, please.
You don't understand. It ain't just about Mama. I'm seeing these things. These strands in the air.
Oh.
scared.
I don't like that look on her face. She about to use you.
Strands.
Yeah,
She about to
Yeah.
use you to make money or something.
there is something big out there.
Lily,
Yes, ma'am?
clearly my
Lily
granddaughter
looks
is not
scary.
in her
I'm
right
sorry.
mind right
I'm sorry
now.
to say that.
Afraid for her mother and all. Ready a guest room.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I want to be the kind of rich that in the middle of the hurricane, I have a full-on two-piece suit,
Tonight.
my hair did up,
Come sit down
and
for a
pearls and heels on. Like, let me get like her.
minute. I'll take care of this.
What did they just do? What? How did she fall asleep so fast? What? Did they poison her?
Where am I?
Oh no.
A dream.
They sent her to the
Strange dream.
sunken
These
place.
strands, I've seen them before.
Okay.
Are they saying my name? They're saying my name.
Your grandmother done sent you to the sunken place, girl. I don't know how she did it. Oh, hello?
What are you doing here?
Rue.
How interesting.
Who? Who are you? What are you doing in my dream?
Hmm.
Hazel?
Mama.
Hazel!
I'm right here! Ma! Can you see me?
Dude. Come on. What is this? A window? Who's that? Oh, Mama?
Oh God, my baby! My baby bug! No! You're not gonna make it! Ah!
Ma! I'm right here!
Oh, she thought she died? Yeah, that is crazy. She didn't know she teleported back on the shore. So she just has to assume her child jumped in that river and died.
Ma! Ma, wake up!
Oh,
Mama?
That was the,
Trailer.
like, the other mother's hand.
Bun
That, like,
Grandma?
needle spider hands. Oh, they locked you in. Yep.
Bunny!
They can't be
Lily!
trusted.
We gotta find Mama! Hey, open the door!
Ooh. Owl! Talk to the owl. The owl will help. Owls are always good. Never evil.
It's my only option, I guess. The strands are still here. Maybe it wasn't a dream. The strands. That stuff. That thing last night. What's happening?
I don't know, girly. Something
Can't
strange is
believe
happening.
Bunny. I'm sorry, Grandma locked me in there.
All right. How do I get out of here?
What's this? Journal? Diary. September 7th, 1989. When I hold the hooks, I can see hints of strands and stigma flickering at the edge of my vision, but I can neither unravel them nor can I make them tangible. It's infuriating. March 11, 2003. I've exhausted all frameworks and possibility. No methodology has brought me closer to controlling the strands, and the hooks refuse to sing to me the light of my life. Has still gone dark. Maybe there's another way. She wants to be a weaver,
Unraveling
huh?
stigma.
She's jealous.
What the hell does that mean?
Hold
Can
on, I
Bunny
have
see
to
strands too?
respond to this email. Real quick, I really like the story of this game so far. I think I'm gonna like it. I'm interested to see what the actual like combat will be. Um and what that will like entail. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's keep going. Another journal. June 7th, 1982. We are not replaceable as people. They say life is a light that once diminished, forever blinked out, but I don't think it has to be that way. There's magic in this world, tall tales with hints of truth. I will find it, that maybe I can forgive him. I want to forgive him.
Huh? I wonder what happened.
Maybe I can forgive him. I want to be.
Feels sad.
Maybe the dad did something? Like,
I wish you were here, Dad.
yeah, it has to do, it's something with the dad. He did something. Maybe he knew of it and tried something and just got killed. I don't know.
Does she lock all the doors in here? Is there something behind that shelf?
Secret passage? Ooh. Grandma rich. They have
Rich people's
secret,
houses.
yeah. Secret rooms and
Those
stuff.
voices are getting louder. There's something up here.
Voices. Singing. Oh. Hazel. What's in the chest? What's in the box? What are they? They're like little pickaxes type things? Little picks? Ice picks? I don't know what they are.
Do these control you?
Ew.
What is all this? I feel like I'm going insane.
Ew. Oh, can I do something with it? Oh, okay. 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 Is there another way? Oh, is there another way to swing? Nope. Oh. Pull them out, put them away. Oh, wait. Jump swing? No. There's no dodge yet. Wonder if there will be. Okay. Oh, shoot.
Whoa. That's not possible. Foot's fine too.
Ew, this is so gross. Oh no. What's
The
that?
hooks are reacting to that thing in the middle. Bunny called it stigma? Do they know what to do?
Unravel? Oh. We're untying the knot, huh?
What the fuck?
Ooh, that's what makes those everything go away. Okay. You need to find those and break and unravel them. Mm-hmm.
I don't need you. I never did.
Well, you did need her last
I'm
night.
gonna find my mama on my own.
You did need her to get those things, so I mean, you know. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. You know.
Hazel got no help from her strange grandma. Truth was, she was glad to leave the Flood mansion behind. Used to handling things on her own, she set off downriver to find her house and rescue her ma herself. There, magic called to her. A magic she'd felt in her bone, but she had never seen before.
I like the storybook narration parts. I like the style.
And something dark. That old house had hid all manners of odious secrets over the years.
Over the years.
Hazel set off to find them all through the hurricane-ravaged land. But her path would lead her to a place haunted by whispers from days of yore.
Days of yore. Chapter 2. Okay, so that was just chapter 1. But we didn't really get any combat to chapter 2. I guess there's combat coming. What's that? What's that? A little piggy or something? What's that?
Mama's trapped. I'll figure it out.
Oh, possum. Okay, come on. Let's fight something. I want to fight something. I think it's a little crazy that chapter 1 was like 40 minutes and
I think
we
this is
didn't
the
get
right
a
way.
test combat at all, but you know, maybe that's typical for these games. I can't be sure.
More thorns? All the way out here?
Hmm.
Where am I anyway?
Where are the rest of the townspeople? I guess they're still boarded up in their house, but am I the only one that can see this stuff? Like, for real?
Shit. This was my way downriver.
Take a detour down
Only
the
way
forest.
forward is down.
Hey, ew. Alrighty, let's find something to fight. Ew. Okay. Oh, this. Look at the bunnies.
It's like some weird folktale. Brer Rabbit or something.
Rare rabbit. Ooh, okay, almost fell. Did it though. Saved myself though. I'm just good like
Hey.
that. Oh, fox.
What's got you all so spooked?
Fox and let's see what the other ones were. Oh. Okay, this looks like a battle. This looks like combat. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. What is that?
Hell no. Hell no. This better work.
Okay, chain up to 5 attacks to release a melee combo. Hold X to charge, then release to execute amplified attack. While charging, use the left. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got dodge. And then unravel. Oh, unraveling heals. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, okay. Dodge. Dodge. Okay, get the controls on. Okay, and then unravel. Get some health. Cool.
I did that?
Can I do that?
More of you? I'd be screwed without these hooks. Whoa.
Okay. Do that. Take your soul. Thank you. Unstoppable attack. When an enemy is glowing yellow, it's unleashing an unstoppable attack. Immune to magic and damage. Press Y near a health coil to heal. Heal once. Okay. Press R to lock onto an enemy. Okay. Combat compass. Alright. Okay. What? Oh. What? Okay. Oh no. Okay, they're getting serious now. Okay, you out. Give me that, give me. Okay, the kind of simulated stop motion style does kind of make it a little hard to figure out like what's like happening.
I'm so far off road. Hope I'm nowhere close to that place.
But I'll probably get used to it, right?
It's those voices again. Might be worth checking out.
Squeeze on through.
Seems to be coming from down there.
Yeah, let's just jump in a well. Random well. What's the worst thing that could happen? Just jump down the well.
Sounds like I'm getting closer.
Yeah, I can't really tell if the controls, oh god, if the controls are like pretty standard or like better or worse than like other games of this same genre. I can't really tell. Oh, it's the Sleeping Beauty thing. Spindle wheel. That if we touch, we're gonna be cursed to sleep forever. And she's gonna touch it. Oh. Got our magic wand? Oh, look at her arms.
Put it down. Keep those hands to yourself. We pack light for a reason.
They can't have gone far. When I find them, I swear I'm gonna.
Shut up. Eyes open. They won't stop looking for us, and we can't stop moving. I know y'all nervous, maybe scared. This ain't my first time doing this.
This is like ancestors escaping slavery?
You will be free. You and your little one. Now come on.
Mahalia. It's taking them to freedom!
I'll take you to the river. We got a long journey ahead.
What the fuck? Am I seeing things? This can't be real.
Girl, you've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of stuff that you've never seen
But they
before.
looked so real. This is crazy. But I can't stop now. Those ghosts are my best chance of getting downriver.
So is the whole point of this game gonna be getting Mama? Or are we gonna get Mama in this chapter and then we're gonna find something else? I wonder if... How long can my mother be floating down the river? Mm-hmm. Ooh, there's upgrades. Okay. I purchased using floofs. Okay, that's a pretty... Floofs is a pretty dumb name, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest. Not a great name for their currency. So this is dodge. Yep, dodge attack. Okay. Why to collect a floof? Or knots.
That's helpful. What's this?
It's the floof.
Floofy and soft. Everything else around here feels so wrong.
They're called floof because she called them floofy and soft. Ways on through. Wait, what did it say? I wanted to read that, but I went too fast.
I always hated this place.
Quickly now, follow me.
What the?
Get back, get back. Hide.
I don't know.
Hey, where'd they go?
They're hiding, girl.
In here. Lock the door.
There's that sound again. And it's loud where they went in.
Guess I gotta go in through the roof.
Of all the homes to wash away, had to be ours.
Seniors, 84. I mean, y'all were on the river. Literally. I was looking at it, I was like, this don't look good. This would concern me.
Okay, keep it together. No looking back. Just gotta clear the next hurdle in front of me. Whole family's forced to make do with so damn little.
Hey, more tools, more little trinkets.
Now come on, this way.
First spell. Used during exploration against enemies and combat there's cooldown. Spells rated by enemies. LB to cast the weave spell. Use it on echo objects to make them solid for a short time. Use it to weave enemies, increasing all damage and preventing them from moving or attacking for a short while. Oh, okay.
It's like snatching something out of the past.
Interesting. Interesting mechanic.
There they are.
Can I...
Gotta follow. Please be okay, Mom.
On your feet.
Okay, I see a health thing up there. That means gonna be some fighting. I'm fighting.
Got goosebumps.
Wait, what?
Gotcha.
He did the unbeatable move right in front of me. Oh, God. Oh, give me that, give me that.
Where are y'all coming from?
Oh, go, go, go. Okay. Doing that screaming stuff. Shoot. Oh, okay. That's it. You're done.
This way.
This way. Go that way. R2 to cross the strand push. Spell. Use it to repel enemies, do some damage, and disrupt their attacks. Ooh.
That should prove
Interesting.
useful. Now, how do I get over there?
Oh, that is wire. Can I push this? Oh, yep. Oh. Oh, right here. There we go. Where do they go? This way? Oh, this way. Oh, here comes another fight. Maybe like mini boss battle. It's like maybe.
Oh, they just can't get
I
enough
don't know.
of me.
Just more
Back off.
tutorial stuff. Oh what? Oh, wrong buttons. Oh. Hmm. Sit down. Easy. Did they go this way? Or is this... Oh, yeah.
Is everyone out? No. Let this hell begin.
Ooh. Interesting. L2 to cross strand pull. Nice. Getting smaller hates towards you.
There we go.
Okay, I got pull, push, and I got make real. Alright, here we go.
Not afraid of you.
Come here, buddy. Okay, so it's good to unravel even if you're full on health because it makes your things run out slower. I mean, cool down faster. Ooh, I do that. Cool, cool, cool.
I think that's them up ahead.
Fire didn't catch. They'll just replace us. Start it all anew.
They'll just replace us. What? You can't get on this? Oh, what's this? Oh. Give me that. So can I... Oh, see past echoes. Okay, wait. Readables. Where's the thing? Oh, here it is. Strand push. Okay, increase it. Alright, need more money. This is not something I can climb on though. It was just to get that. Okay. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. Oh no, no. It was for here. There we go. There we go. You don't have double jump. I'll try to jump.
I'll stay with you, little one.
Down here. Okay, we got
Another
some.
one of those symbols.
The dippers. Sigma thrives where folk wept their hardest tears. It infects the earth with boils. Only we healers can see the hurt and sorrow. Scouring these wounds makes for lonely work some days. Delivering folks to safety is the only thing keeping my heart and soul healthy.
Stigma? Why me? How come I can see it?
You're the chosen one.
This has gotta be the path they took to reach the river.
No.
Never knew this was here. I wonder how many other folks escaped through this cave.
This is a very intricate cave system.
Stay with me. We're almost to the river.
Oh look, I can get down there. And get these things.
Those roots are too
oh,
high for
almost
me to
fell.
reach.
Press L2 to throw hold a throwable object. Then press R8 trigger to throw. Okay. Just getting these floofs. Nice. Wait, what did that do? Oh, let me climb up. Oh, I need to do it again.
That'll make things a lot easier from now on.
Here we go.
This is it! The way out!
Let's squeeze out there and see what we find. Was that the whole of chapter 2?
On her journey to find her house downriver, Hazel felt hushed and awed by what she saw. Spirits appeared before her eyes, leaving her stunned.
Leaving her stunned.
She hadn't known about Mahalia, the last weaver of Prospero, but Hazel felt a connection as she watched her wield magic. The same magic now calling to her.
Dude, if I randomly gain the ability to
Father Hazel
do
got from
magic,
town,
I'd be
the
so
stranger
happy.
and more fantastical
I would
the
be
world became.
ecstatic.
She didn't know dangerous creatures from old folks' tales still abide here. And best of all, she didn't know she was about to meet me.
About to meet me. Oh, the fish guy. Chapter 3. I wonder how many chapters are in the game. Because this still feels like tutorial. Like, now we get to the real game. Or, I guess we still have to meet him, and then we'll, like... Real game for real?
It's not much further now. The river must be close.
Finally. Please let our house be in one piece.
Oh, is this boss? Boss battle?
What is that? Looks like a bug's nest.
Looks gross. When targeting a nest, press L2 to hold a larva haint, then press R2 to throw it. Okay. Press R2 to push back larva haints and do damage to other haints. Okay.
Maybe I can chuck those back at him.
Oh, I just did. Right. Thank you, just frozen. Oh, give me that. Come on, give me one. What? Oh. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Nice. Nice. Oh, give me that. Give me that. Oh, I didn't want to use that one, but I mean, I think it's done anyway. Alright, that's a bit more exciting. Got some new enemies. Pretty fun. We can upgrade. Oh, ground pound. I like ground pound. Hazel. Yay. I like this game. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. I panicked. And jumped before I thought. And I keep ground pounding. And I'm trying to like double jump.
Wait for me here. I'll find something to get y'all across.
Oh, she can double jump?
She went far. I can make it.
Oh, we're just unlocking my double jump. There we go. See, yeah, we're still
during track season.
It's a lot of tutorial is that's my biggest gripe right now with this game is like, come on now. Let's get into game. Like we are doing game, but it feels like we're still doing baby game, you know? We could be doing game for real. Real gamer stuff.
Looks like they made it over the gap.
How am I gonna do that? How did the pregnant mom do double jump? I did not take the weaving easy. It had me scared as a rabbit in a foxhole hearing them angel voices. Weren't till I fished a lost girl from a deep well with my hooks and spindles that I opened my eyes to what the voices wanted. The day I gave myself to the weeds was one of the happiest of my life.
Something funky about those symbols.
I can't really do a a what's it called? A like God, what's the accent called that they're doing? A Cajun. I can't really do a Cajun accent.
What's that?
Ooh. Gather them to increase your health bar permanently. Do you mind if I do?
It's like getting a second win.
Hi, Fox. Oh, you show me. Oh, you show me a path. A floof. Take it. Thank you, Fox friend.
Rest up while I find a way down. Stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
Long journey ahead.
Mm-hmm. Gliding.
Thank you. Gotta be brave. Quickest way to the river.
Oh, what? Hold B. Oh, I thought it said press B.
What the heck?
Ooh. That looks fun and cool. And fun and cool and fun and cool. Spellbook? Spiderweb?
Hey, that's from our house.
Oh.
That's
Give
Mama's
me
book
that.
binder.
Give me that.
What? Back here again? Mama?
I hate this thing. It's like cracking open Pandora's box. It's so hard for me to not take my feelings home to Hazel afterwards.
Hold on, let me grab
I
my
want to
bike.
shield her. But I just keep pushing her away.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know her work affected her so much. She can't hear me.
What was all that anyway?
That felt different. No way she's... No. She's gotta be alive.
Well, let's be honest, Hazel. You know, you're what? Oh, someone's calling me. Hazel's what, like 18? Yeah, as a teenager, you don't think about what other people are going through. You just don't. She hasn't even gone to college yet. That's when you start thinking about, like, oh man, that's when your empathy gets higher. Levels up. Okay, now we're getting to the part where I've seen the, Gosh, and there's gators. Where I've seen the, this is the promo. Look at that turtle! Which way? Oh, on the wrong. I just walk in this while they're... No, oh, they'll kill me. Okay. Just wanted to check, make sure. That's about right. Look at that! Was that a beaver? I like the little critters they put everywhere.
Hello? Anyone?
What is that? A giant peach? James and the giant peach? With a crane. It was a pumpkin. Doing Cinderella. Cinderella, Cinderella. Cinderella.
Oh, dang, mosquito. Get off me.
Hey, Hazel.
Hey, Hazel.
Who's there?
You up here.
Where?
My salvation.
A talking fish. Nope. Ain't no way.
Oh, Weaver, like you must have seen stranger things than me. And I was so sorry to hear about your misfortunation. You find your mama yet?
Misfortunation.
How do you know about my mama?
Well, before I tell you what I know, would you mind? This gentleman here scooped me up, but he ain't been equal good about letting go. Would you kindly do your weavy thing and help me down?
You're stuck in the statue.
What weeby thing?
Oh, don't tease now. Sound carries underwater. It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. And lo and behold, with this type and all.
I just found this thing. Look, my house got swept away in the storm with my mama in it, and I'm just trying to find my mama before.
Oh, you really don't know anything.
I mean, how far can a
How
house go?
disappointing.
I'm getting really sick and tired of folks being disappointed.
Oh, no, mortified to a fan, no. I just, well, you can't see strands, can't you? Like knots, tangles, thingies?
Thingies? What are you talking about?
Like strings floating in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Well then, I can teach you the rest. And a train weaver ought to be able
Oh
to
my
rescue
god,
her
we're
and
still
Mama
in the
easy. I can even
tutorial.
help you
Can we
find
get
her.
out of this
When you get
tutorial?
let down, of course.
How am I supposed to do that?
Well, it's like this, see? Our world is made of strands all
Look
woven
at
together.
that turtle, the
Now,
snapping
when
turtle.
something terrible or unnatural happens to a creature, the strands get all knotted. Now, this here tree went through some tribulations. Must have left his knots all over the place. All you gotta do is use your magic bottle and...
Wait. I don't have a magic bottle.
No?
No.
Well, there's an old bottle tree over this way. The sun's always glinting in my eyes from it. You could probably find one there.
Okay, so I get the magic bottle and then.
Just get it. I'll tell you the rest after. But hurry. Some folks think I'm delicious fried up with
We're doing
grits.
fetch quests now.
Ain't healthy for a fish to be in a tree.
Definitely not. This the right way? Yeah. Look at this pumpkin though. Ooh. Can't go in the pumpkin. That sucks. Wish I could go in the pumpkin.
A weaver? Me? Yesterday I was struggling to finish my
Ooh.
shifts, and now I'm fighting Haints.
Hey, can I get... Oh. Oh, shoot. How do I get to that one? Easy. Oh, get up, get up. Give me that. You're trespassing. Public foreclosure. Let me break this pumpkin. Do it. Sucks. Sucks. What's this? To get up here? Get where? On the pumpkin. Oh no, to go over there. Here we go. Oh. It's for another one.
That's a bottle tree. All right.
Bottle tree. I don't know trees like this. I don't know what they... Oh. They just mean a tree where people put bottles on them. Okay. And we just pick one. The glowing one, I assume. The one that's shaking a little.
Hey, get out of here, you damn boo hag!
Boo what?
Yeah, I saw you jumping through the air back there. Ain't no one but a boo hag can do that.
Boo hag.
They ain't gonna steal my soul while I sleep.
Look, I'm sorry. I need a bottle.
Yeah? Even you're not a boo hag, come up on this porch and prove it. I know full well you boo hags can't abide the color blue.
See? I ain't no boo hag.
Well, maybe ain't. Thing is, I need all my bottles.
All the bottles?
For Hates.
Wait, you see him too?
Well, I ain't entirely seen one. But they bite, and they clump up around places of old pain. You know, some folks say that if you scoop up those clumps, put them in a bottle and put that bottle in a bottle tree, you could cure the pain. Hasn't really worked out for me just yet, but...
Poor man, getting bitten by
Hates.
Hates.
Bottle up the pain.
So I'm the last person left here. All those
Oh, I'm
damn
supposed to be a
Hates.
healer, so I can
This
heal
part
him.
of the river's filthy with them. Ever since my brother went missing.
If you let me take a bottle, I could help.
Well, get you one off the tree then. And you're welcome to try bottling
He's
up the
easy
pain.
to convince.
But the roots of this trouble go deep.
He's got an Illuminati sign. Okay, give me the bottle. Is her choker a choker or a
All that
tattoo?
mess over there looks like some kind.
This bottle lets you trap specific painful memories trapped in the green tapestry. Collecting off of these strand fragments forms a pattern of someone's past pain in the end of the chase sequence. At the end of the chase sequence.
Vortex. Should check that out.
Interesting. I'm literally gonna bottle up his pain. Oh, I see some glowing. Hey man, I'm gonna help
Life
myself
must
to
be
your
hard out
floops. Hatton, on my daddy's grave it's real. Elzamar been out there twice now and said he heard a metal thunk each time he dropped anchor where the light stopped. X marks the spot. You follow them lights next moon, you bring us back that treasure. We leave this shithole once and for all, and we do it rich as thieves.
Huh? You couldn't pay me to go out there at night.
No, I can't steal the man's boat. I'll just bottle up his pain, and then he'll be so happy he'll give me the boat for freezy. Oh, what do I go? Oh. Where the river lights, community notice rumors are so code FIFAlet night sightings. Not to be taken lightly, our short-handed search and rescue team took 80 hours to recover the late Pat and Henry. Deepest condolences to the bereaved family. From the riverbed, please try out of the waters only during sanctioned work hours.
Oh, wow. That's terrible.
His brother went for that treasure and then, died. A horrible death. I'm supposed to go, right? Oh, yeah.
Now, I've got this bottle, and I'll do something with it. Yeah.
Eviction
Must have
notice.
been a land grab. Assholes.
Look at that turtle. There's turtles everywhere. You gonna bite me? He's got his mouth open, but he won't bite me. What a nice little guy. Oh, we gotta go back to what's this? What we're doing? Oh, ew. Oh, time it. Another eviction notice.
Folks. These houses can't have been up to code.
No, they're 100% not up to code. Oh, there's a dog. Don't bite me, dog. Grammy, the fiddling one ain't half bad. It's that fool brother of his. Something ain't right over there. Told him he had to lose his Kuyon kid in a tragic river accident if he wants to be a respected member of our hardworking community. Ain't nothing to value loss if two brothers go for sale and only one comes back.
What a nasty heart.
I get what that was trying to say. Like he said they should have both died for the sake of the community, I guess. But that's a crazy thing to say. Can I make it out all the way over there? Oh, nope. Oh, battle. Battle time. Shit. Oh shoot, they're killing me. Hold on, freeze. Oh no, I didn't dodge in time. Dang, okay. Let's try that again. Okay, let's start. Okay. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, back up. God. Oh, we got these guys. That's not okay. Get off the wall. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I had it. Dang it. Oh no. Back up, back up, back up. Give me this, give me this. Oh, they can kill each other. Give me that. Yeah. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. Uh-oh. Get off me! Get off me! Oh, God. Okay, hold still. What? It didn't go. I'm flailing. I can do this. Guys, just believe in me. Guys, I didn't even beat Elden Ring, okay? Just cut me some slack. Let's go easy on me. I keep forgetting about this, Grandpa. I gotta work on the timing. Okay. Oh. Shoot! You forgetting I don't have things? What? Get off me. Okay. I'm okay. Stay still, you. Okay, yeah, these guys are the main problem. The nests are fine. Whatever, I just gotta...
Not too bad.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, not too bad. Easy. Easy. First try. First try. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see. Nowhere. Go this way.
That knot looks worse than the others. What's happening?
Oh. Oh, this is the trauma stuff? Not a bottle it?
Benji and his brother's troubles began when they were forced to move again. Their maw thought it best for Benji, who was bullied badly for being in his own world. But Rhubarb would not forgive him for uprooting their life.
What was that? Some kind of ghost memory?
Apple.
The bottle is acting funny.
Okay, so that's how we bottle up trauma.
Pain in a bottle. I get it now. Maybe if I fill this up, I can help Catfish.
Help Catfish? You didn't even tell us what you need, like... Oh, hold on. Let's get this stuff. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. It was a misclick. I'm sorry, I'm not bad, I promise. I have to be patient. I'm just not patient. Okay, I can't be too close when I make it real, or it hurts me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Stigma. That's gotta be the Weaver name for Old Pain. Did they kick everyone out?
I mean, dang, everybody got evicted. How do I get up? Did I just drop? Yep. this way. Oh, I could have used that, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's gotta be how this works. Stigma's what happens when the pain turns rotten.
So all of these are just people's pain, and they turn into manifestations of that pain, and it's monstrous, and it hurts. Okay, another battle. This one looks like it's boss battle. Okay. Okay.
Better stay light on my feet.
Push it back. Okay. Oh wait, what? Oh. Okay. Oh man, the timing is strange. Oh, oh. Don't stop killing me. There it is. Okay, let me see. Shoot at me again. It missed. Oh. Where's the thing? Oh my god. You bastard. Okay. Getting better. Getting better. What? Thought I'd get hit. And before that, dang it. Okay, getting better. Getting a little better. Oh, there's more. Okay, that's the timing. Yeah. Easy.
Handled them just fine.
Woo! Okay, another rough one. Okay, this is more trauma. Let's see the trauma.
When the townsfolk caught wind of Benji's difference, they started throwing rocks at him and his brother.
What was different?
Rubber
Oh my
was
god.
surprised. Bad people always prey on those who stand out.
What's different about Benji? Can he see stuff or something?
Bottles half full. There's bound to be more on the other side of this giant tree.
Wait, so is the brother like the statue? Like, is that what that turned into? Because I'm just a little confused on like why helping this dude bottle his trauma is gonna help the catfish get out of the statue hand.
Is that Benji?
Look at Benji.
He had a nice smile back then. She looks starved.
Is that their mama? And this is Rhubarb?
That old guy who gave me the bottle? He looked like Benji's brother.
I thought we knew that's what Hazel, I don't know what you think is going on. I thought we already knew that we're dealing with his trauma. You literally said you're gonna help him. Oh, we're helping. Oh, I dropped something. Hazel, honey, I need you to get with the
I wonder if he
program.
knows so much about Benji's pain.
Hazel, I need you to be, you know, on it. Alright, let's go. I walk slow. Okay, upgrade. Unravel an enemy set off a strand blast. Amplified attack can be charged further, inflicting increased damage over a large area. It increase push damage. After a pull inflicts damage, enemies take more damage from all sources. Ooh, I love using the weave, so I think I want this. Well, it's expansive. Then maybe I'll get that one after. Which way? This way? Oh, that way. I like how they made like this thing optional. We have to press a button to see it because I know some games have this like always on.
Half full or half empty. And here I believe
Oh.
you were brand new at this.
I barely know what filling this thing does.
Oh, you'll see. One step at a time.
Because I know for some people it's a bit annoying always having the game telling you where to go. But I like it being an optional thing. Like when I'm a little lost, I can just toggle it on and check and see. Okay, another battle. I can't make that one go back to it. Oh, wait. Dang it. Where'd it go? Okay, give me this. Just because I can't. Give me that. I will take that. And you die. Come on, come on. I can't see. Get me out of there. What? Okay, I need to kill one of these guys. Oh my god! There's not even enough time to dodge if I'm mid-swing. Alright. We need to take these two out before that guy spawns. Okay, where are you guys? You. Okay. Come on. I need to be better about using the AoE one. The charge. Oh. Hey, get off of me. Hold on, hold on. There it is. Okay, yep, getting it better, getting better.
Drawn here because I'm a.
Ooh. Alright. I like this game, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. Let's go. More trauma. Let me see the trauma. What trauma you got? Put it in my bottle. These people are mean. They killed his rabbit and then left a bear trap for him?
Last time. There was no escaping it.
Oh my god. What kind of person would do that to someone?
Why is everyone making fun of Benji? Like, what's wrong with him? He looked fine to me. Like, what's so off about it? Like, for what reason? Why?
was almost
Bear
full.
trap?
Just one more to go.
What could possibly be enough, like... Oh, here's the bear trap.
Ugh, nasty, cruel work.
So mean. In what world is anything that Benji done worth setting a bear trap for him and hoping he gets stuck in it? Oh, they're still here.
I won't be long.
They're so close. They must be exhausted.
And run along it. There's a lot of movement stuff in this
Now that's
game.
cool.
Shit. Ooh, look at that. Looks really cool. Oh, I see stuff. How do we get those? I like the music. What am I doing? Oh. Oh, what? Oh, wrong button, wrong button. Oh, I'm jumping into a spike. Oh, look at that. Look at that gator. Ready to eat me. Oh, you hungry, buddy? You hungry? You want to eat me? Well, too bad. I'm not going down there. Ready to eat me. Sucks to be you. Stupid gator. Oh my god, he's huge.
The ghost got away. Hope they ended up somewhere safe.
Oh. Did that do nothing? I think there's nothing back here. Just for that little achievement. Oh, I hear.
Did folks used to meet up here?
Note. Dear Mad Broussard, I don't know who talks bad on my good name, but I ain't the cause of Benji running off. Sure, me and him got into it some, but that don't mean I hold grudges. Did my part to make a pass by the house and give my sympathies to T. Rhubarb. Give it time and that couillon will show up again, right as rain. Kindly, Claude Guidry.
That's right. Rhubarb said Benji went missing.
Oh, is that Claude? Yeah, you look like a Claude. What's this one? St. Sylvan's Got Talent. Calling all aspiring entertainers, it's your time to shine. The talent show, brought to you by Mayor Broussard. He killed him. He killed him so that he could win the talent show. Oh my god. Imagine being killed so that because someone else wants to win the talent show and they think you're way too talented. Oh, went the wrong way. Hazel. Ah, there's further upstairs. Okay. All right, final. It's a little tight.
Walked right by a dozen haints and didn't even know.
Alright, getting better. Where's the other one? Oh, I thought a big one came. Okay. Come here. Oh god. Look at that. Getting close. Okay, made it. Okay. Oh, give me that. Give me this.
This is getting easier.
Yeah, it's getting easier. I agree, Hazel. Hey, final trom. Let's see what happened to Benji.
While Benji's love was as true as his heart, Rhubarb was tired of tending to his needs instead of showcasing what he could do. By this point, Rhubarb felt he had moved enough.
Oh, God.
Oh.
What did Rhubarb do?
What? Oh. Rhubarb pushed his brother to his death. Because he wanted to shine at the talent show. Oh. Wait, which one?
Where am I?
Well, now, how curious. You shouldn't be here. Let us remedy it.
Oh, my thing is broken, I think. Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck!
I broke it. Hold on. Why is it broken? Delete that node. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna die. Hold on. I'm fixing tech. There we go. Right? Now that works fine. Oh, I gotta like bring it down, lay low. Okay. Yeah. Like that? Hello, 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 hello. Okay. I think that's better. There we go. And now I change these. It's not gonna get broken. Okay. Coming back here. Maybe it. Okay, continue. Show me what happened again. Oh. I missed what happened a little bit. Okay. Running. We're running. We're going. We're going. We're going. Oh, get up, get up.
What is that?
What is that? Indeed. Sounds like a lion.
Is this a dream?
Girl! Oh, God. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. Maybe... Was that the button for Split Fiction? I don't... It might be. That might be the dash button from Split Fiction, which is why my brain is confused. Because that's the last platforming game I played. And it also had a dash.
What is that? Is this a dream?
Hazel. Hazel, please, please accept it. It's reality. I mean, how much of this could be a dream? Like, actually. Just seeing the stuff in real life. But I did it again. Almost died again because of that. Darn you, Split Fiction. Which is a really good game. It was really fun.
Go, go, go!
Can I look behind me? I just want to see what it is. Okay. Like a cloud of some. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. Need to keep moving. Oh, come on, come on.
Let me get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out. Let's get on that out of here. Shadow. Whew. Yoo-wee. Yoo-wee. Okay, so we put the trauma in a new tree, and then it, like, gets fixed, healed. But I don't even know what happened. So Rhubarb was in on it, and, like...
Oh, thank God. What the hell was that?
Rhubarb was in
Let me
on
just
it, and,
Get back to that fish. Yeah.
and hurt Benji? Or let Benji get hurt in order to shine for the talent show and his other skills, I guess? Oh, there he goes.
Hey, Zul. Got everything you need?
I think that's everything.
Then hurry up and fix that tangle.
Where is it at? Oh, right here. So is this Benji?
Okay, what crazy thing is about to happen now?
I assume your first time in Niue was a bit eventful?
Oh, yeah. You could have warned me about the fog.
Fog? Oh, that fog. Yes. Must have slipped my mind. I'm a tad dehydrated. You get a pattern?
Yeah, I didn't expect it
Yeah,
to
her
be
choker looks
so
more like a tattoo. It might just be
personal.
a tattoo.
Secrets are a terrible burden. That's why I'm so eager to help. By listening.
Or they just painted it on instead of modeling it.
Okay. So what do I have to do to help Benji so I can get you down so I can save my mama?
Use that pattern to fix that big old tangle. You'll need to reweave Benji too. But first things first.
Reweave Benji.
Go
So this
fix
is
that tangle.
Benji's like anger and pain and stuff. I don't know, I'm getting a phone call. Okay, it was a spam call.
When Rhubarb said go inside the hollow tree for
No,
a game,
Rhubarb, no.
Benji did it. Even when he was nailing the hollow shut, Benji trusted him. There must have been a moment when Rhubarb decided to leave him there. And a moment when Benji, trapped inside that tree, finally understood. He
No.
must have cried to the heavens.
Oh,
Somehow the tree took pity, and somehow
Benji.
become the tree.
Oh,
He'd never
buddy.
forget that the brother he had loved had done this to him.
For what?
What kind of magic
Like,
is that?
what was even the reason?
What kind of man would kill his own brother?
Exactly. Like, what? So you could play. So you could play violin. Hmm?
What
That's
do I
what you
do
kill your
now?
brother for? Crazy.
Cuddle up on Benji like a squirrel now.
I remember my brother. His face
Yeah, the music's kind of fun.
was so cruel. He saw things so different, branded a fool. He found
New
trouble
mythical creature Benji, rooted in pain.
each place
Oh, Benji.
go. He didn't know that this was the end.
So Rhubarb, you killed your brother and you're still living in
Benji his name. He saw things different. He was my shame. And I said goodbye. I said farewell. I took my hammer, my ticket to hell.
Excuse me. Benji?
The locals got angry, left traps out for him. Threw rocks, started shouting. His prospects were grim. Easy to
So this song is
blame
literally just about Benji from Rhubarb's perspective.
favorite son. For her and my family, my plan had begun.
I put him in the tree.
Let's play together. Go and hide in a cypress tree hollow. It was safe and dry.
That's such a bad way to die, too. Enclose and just slowly die. What? Is that it over there?
He thought we were playing. That was a lie. He was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different. He was my shame.
That's weird.
I said goodbye.
It almost looked like it got dug out of him.
I took my hammer.
Dug out of him?
Took it to hell.
Hmm.
Was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different. He was my shame. And I said goodbye. I said farewell.
Sorry to be moving you around like this.
I took it to hell.
What? Why did that kill me? Oh, okay, I go this way. So, I don't even get Rhubarb's plan was just to win the talent show. Or he did the talent show and then after that he was like, in order to have a hit single, I need to take out my brother. And then he's still living here. He don't look rich to me. He looks paranoid and poor. Living in a town full of people who all got evicted. People who were setting bear traps for Benji and all that stuff. What a awful town.
Oh, that looked like it hurts. I bet that's where I used the pattern.
Should go back to Rhubarb and his ass.
Mind moving your arm a little bit so I can get up? Is that okay?
I'm gonna beat his ass for you, Benji. Don't worry. I'm gonna heal you. And I'm gonna fight your brother. Press X to attack the wound. Okay.
Taking a shot in the dark here.
I'm doing some surgery, Benji. Just don't worry about it. We're just removing this from you. There we go. Put the band-aid on.
You'll let him go now, won't you?
Is he like still alive, I guess? Ugh. That's so sad. Poor
This
Benji.
ain't more than a mud puddle. Meet me at Rhubarb's dock.
Where's that fish?
Where's that fish?
He better keep his promise.
I love all the little critters they have.
Whoa! Pardon my mud. What'd you see? Tell me all the juicy details.
Is this entertainment for you?
Well, fish ain't got no TV.
The things I saw, I get why Mama had to wash her day off when she got home. Use up all our hot water on really bad days.
Yeah.
Oh, was your mama a weaver too?
No.
Social worker. She never really felt like she helped enough. Do you think I did enough for Benji?
Oh, my dear. Weavers do fix things deep down. They mend parts of your soul so ripped, you'd forgotten they were ever one piece.
How do you know so much? Did a weaver ever help you?
Oh, I don't like to talk much about myself.
Hmm.
Hop on.
He's like a
Oh,
mechanical
I'm not as
eye.
slimy as I look. Don't you want to find your mama?
He looked very slimy, actually.
Now wait till I tell everyone how that terrible tree abducted me for my stories. And just when I was about to be desiccated, a weaver showed up.
Okay. This is the end of this chapter?
As Hazel ventured
Okay,
downriver, her
great.
powers grew stronger. She glimpsed at past, seeing some members of Maw and others strange and
Fuck you,
unknown.
Rhubarb.
Hazel was perturbed by what she'd seen of a giant man tree in his heartache. But thanks to my help, she reweaved his knots and sealed his pain in a magic bottle placed in the grand tapestry. Once she set me loose, I offered her my assistance to locate her mom. But there was more than meets the eyes in these waters. More than just a gentle tree man lurking about. I guided her through the murky waters to the flooded area where her house should have washed.
Oh my god. Okay. So that's chapter 3 done. Can I save the game? Oh, hold on. Let's wait till this cutscene's done. I don't know about the message of like sealing the pain, bottling the pain up and like, you know, sealing it. I don't know about the, you know, optics of that, but yeah. He helped Benji.
Oh, that's two-toed Tom. Big gator.
Oh, is this a real boss guy?
After I got you out of that tree, you said you helped me find my mama.
I ain't of a disposition to be gator snacks.
Well, me neither.
If we're gonna go on, we gotta get rid of him.
I'm all ears.
There's a church up a ways with a big bell. Go on and ring it.
You want to make him come running?
Tom can't abide the sound of bells. Some church folks once tried to dynamite him, and he didn't take that too kindly. If you ring that bell, he might skedaddle.
You better not skedaddle.
Go on now, scoot. I'll pick you up yonder after to go find your mom.
Mama.
Trifling ass mudcat.
Hey, I heard that.
Okay. So is that saved? All unsaved. What? Graphics. I don't know. When does it tell me it saves? I mean, I assume it saves because I finished it. Main menu. Just double check. I do continue. Okay, good. Yeah. So my main gripe with this game so far is how long it's taken to like feel like we've really gotten into the like purpose and like all the main like mechanics and that type of stuff. I don't know why it's like 2 hours later it feels like the game's finally starting, and I don't really feel like we've had like a boss battle yet, but I don't know if there will be like huge bosses or not, you know? But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And this is where I'll stop for today. Thanks everyone who stopped by, lurked, whatever. A lot of fun. And I will hit you guys next time.